Hey up everyone! So continuing the Cannes Film Festival coverage, today's movie I'm discussing on the channel is one of the films from the Cannes lineup which certainly surprised a lot of people. It's the new musical drama from Jacques Audiard called Emilia Perez. Jacques Audiard is the chap who gave us The Sisters Brothers and Paris 13th District. This film made headlines for winning multiple awards this year at Cannes. It won the jury prize, but also the Best Actress award was given to 4 of the women from this movie. Like, they won it collectively. So you've got Zoe Saldaña, Adriana Paz, Selena Gomez, and trans actress Karla Sofia Gascón, all winning this award together. And Karla Sofia Gascón is a significant win as well because she is the first ever trans woman to be the recipient of this award at Cannes. So it's a big deal for the trans community. That's a history-making win right there. This film has certainly sparked a lot of interest now that it's won multiple awards at Cannes, but I think people also are curious about the film itself, about its premise, because it is pretty out there, pretty bonkers, because this is a Spanish-speaking musical, about a Mexican drug lord who undergoes a sex change operation and becomes Emilia Perez, who's played by Karla Sofia Gascón, who's working with the police to help take down a drug cartel, all the while keeping their new identity a secret from their loved ones, including their wife, Jessie, played by Selena Gomez, and their 2 kids. Zoe Saldaña plays the police officer working in collaboration with Emilia Perez, and Adriana Paz plays Emilia's love interest in this. I think a lot of people were caught off guard by the fact that this is an all-singing, all-dancing musical, and it's understandable because it's odd to see people singing and dancing about songs about drug bosses and undergoing sex change operations. Like, there's literal song and lyrics in this movie about dicks and vaginas. Yes. So yeah, you've got elaborately choreographed musical numbers along with gang violence and this soapy, melodramatic telenovela family drama, where family members are keeping secrets from one another about their identity and sexuality. So yeah, this film is taking some really big swings here, and I do admire it for its uniqueness. I can honestly say I've never seen anything quite like it before. So yeah, I do admire this film for the audacity of its premise, as well as the unorthodox genre hybrid mix that it's got going for it. I don't think many were expecting this when they sat down and watched Emilia Perez, but the general response to it did seem quite favorable. The audience I was in seemed to really enjoy it. They were applauding and whooping after the film ended. And then obviously the jury really appreciated because they gave it 2 prizes, including that 4-way split for its ensemble of ladies for Best Actress. That's very unusual. But I'm just gonna level with you guys. I personally didn't love this film, and it did come as a bit of a surprise to even myself, because this film is doing what I'm asking from filmmakers to do with their movies these days, which is to have an original idea, to take risks. And as a gay man, I love that this was an LGBTQ+ movie, and I think it's wonderful to see a movie where the titular character is a trans woman, and to see it being so well received by audiences at Cannes is a wonderful thing. I think that's great. So why didn't I feel amazed by this film? I wish I could pinpoint the exact reason. Perhaps it was too much for me on a first viewing, or perhaps I was maybe a little tired when I watched it and I didn't fully appreciate it. Maybe it was too ambitious to the point where I had trouble personally clicking with it. And also, maybe this movie just isn't really meant for me because I am not a woman, I'm not a trans person, and I'm also not Mexican, or I don't speak Spanish, okay? So maybe I'm not really who this movie was intended for. But I think what it all really boils down to, the reason why I didn't personally love this film, is because I did have a lot of conflicting emotions throughout this film, because part of me was admiring the fact that I was watching a musical number about a sex change operation, but there was another part of me which was like, is this making light of someone's decision to have gender reassignment surgery? Sometimes I didn't know how I was supposed to feel during certain musical numbers. Like the song where this little girl is singing about how her auntie, Emilia Perez, smells like her dad, except she's unaware that her auntie is her dad. And yeah, she's singing about how her auntie reminds her of her father because of how she smells, and how she smells like mezcal, guacamole, and Coca-Cola. And part of me thought like, oh, this is a really sweet song. Then also another part of me thought this song is absolutely ridiculous. So I was questioning whilst I was watching it, am I supposed to be taking this seriously? Or am I supposed to be having fun with it? I was constantly feeling torn, which doesn't often happen to me when I'm watching musicals. Normally, I know how to feel, even in the more silly or absurd scenes. Like, a good similar example is Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which also deals with, sex and gender and identity. And I know exactly how to feel in those musical numbers, but Emilia Pērez, I just didn't know where I was supposed to land. But I do think a second viewing of this film would help, because part of me does think maybe I just watched this movie on an off day and I didn't see what others were seeing, so a second viewing probably would help. But yeah, when the time came for me to review this film, I just had to be honest, and I will say, I thought the performances were great. I think Karla Sofia Gascón was the standout of the ensemble. I feel like they should have just given her the Best Actress award, really. The musical numbers were inventive, the direction was good, it's well shot. But yeah, this is definitely one of those films where I appreciated a lot about it, but I didn't personally love it. And that's okay, because we all respond to art and media differently. I know this film will have an audience and it will have its fans, just based off the reactions in Cannes. Some of you are probably wondering if I think Emilia Pērez has any Oscars chances. Honestly, I don't know if I see Emilia Pērez being a contender at the Oscars, and I know people are excited for this film because, of its A-list talent involved. Maybe we could see the first trans woman get nominated for Best Actress. There is an exciting narrative there. Maybe first nom for Zoe Saldaña, Selena Gomez. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think if they're gonna get nominated for any major awards body, it'll probably be the Golden Globes. Not sure about the Oscars. I think also the fact that they split Best Actress at Cannes between these four women kind of dilutes down the focus on any one of them really standing out, because I don't think Adriana Paz or Selena Gomez are technically lead actresses in their film. I think they'd be more likely in supporting, whereas Saldaña and Gascón would be more of the lead characters. And I don't know if they're gonna champion one or the other, because Saldaña is more established, she's more of a name, recognizable name, but Karla Sofia Gascón is, the titular character. She is Emilia Pērez, so Saldaña has more screen time, but I'd say Karla Sofia Gascón has more big emotional moments in the movie. And yeah, I feel like because the focus has been so split amongst these four winners, that people aren't really going to know who to champion, which one is going to get the most traction and momentum. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I don't know if any of them will, which is a shame. Golden Globe nominations seem more likely than Oscar nominations for the performances, I'd say. Could it get nominated for Best International Feature? Potentially. It depends on whether France submits Emilia Pērez as their entry for Best International Feature this year. Maybe they'll go with something else, maybe the Balconettes, I'm not sure yet. This feels like the most logical pick. I can see the critics groups championing this movie more than the big awards bodies, but if the Academy were to give it some nominations, maybe one or two, maybe international feature, maybe an acting nomination, but they feel quite unlikely to me at the moment. We need to see how this film does when it's received by general audiences, by the masses. I'm not sure this film is going to be championed in the same way as it was at Cannes by general audiences. I think, Cannes audiences loved it, but it is out there. It's weird. It's unusual genre hybrid mix, musical drama. There's a lot going on in this movie. I'm not sure it's going to be everyone's cup of tea, honestly. But yeah, as far as the Oscars go, I'm not really sold on Emilia Pērez being a big player. Maybe one or two nominations, but yeah, if it got goose egged, I also wouldn't be surprised. What do you guys think? Is it going to get some Oscar nominations? If so, which categories? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love to hear from you guys. All right, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yeah, I think I already covered this. I would watch this again because I feel like I didn't fully get it or embrace it on the first viewing, but there was enough here for me to give it a second chance to see if it's better appreciated on a second watch more than a first. So yeah, I will watch it again at some point. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? If you like movies that are ambitious and out there in their premise, or if you're a fan of any of the talent in this movie, then yeah, give this a go. They're all wonderful in this. I feel like if you're a bit of a cinephile, you'll probably enjoy the risks that Jacques Audiard is taking with this movie. It's a hard one to recommend to, just a casual moviegoer, because it is, it's quite odd. It's not for everyone. I know it's not going to be to everyone's taste. It didn't seem like it was to my taste. So I'd say if you're curious about this film, check it out. But I'm not pushing it on people. I don't think this will be for everyone. You can watch the first 20 minutes on Netflix. If you're not into it at that point, then it's probably not going to be for you. And third question, what score to give out of 10? Again, there's a lot about Emilia Pērez that I admire, but there was also a lot about it where I didn't know how to feel about it. Like, I know I love the performances, the direction, the musical set pieces, choreography, but yeah, there was a lot of times in this where I felt very conflicted on how I'm supposed to be, absorbing it. And yeah, that was a bit of an issue for me. So yeah, I walked out of it feeling conflicted. So yeah, I'm going to give Emilia Pērez a score of 5.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. Would love to hear your thoughts on Emilia Pērez. Are you excited for this film? Do you think it's going to have any award season recognition? Whatever you have to say about this movie, do let me know in that comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, help me out with a little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time. Whoops, I forgot to take the coaster out. That was a bit of a flub, wasn't it?